all these qualifications I wrote, all of them from ICAN, ACCA, CFA, I was working and I was a mother. When I wrote ACCA, I recall I already had my second child at the time I wrote ACCA. When I wrote CFA, I already had my third child. So it's to tell people like, look, it's possible. Like I told you, I'm very curious. I love learning. I love having fresh perspective to things. So I had a head of our department at the time, right? Who I used to go to from time to time to seek her opinion on things. And I recall her telling me, you need to know everything your boss knows. I will never forget her. So I decided to do the second time and I failed it again.
Part of your story that you shared, well, that I know
Mm.
about, I don't know if you've shared. Oh, I think you've shared because I did read a post about it on LinkedIn where you talked about failing CFA the first time.
Mm.
What did that moment feel like for you?
Ah.
How did you
So,
get
okay, so, my dear. So I started CFA. I did CFA for 6 years.
Mm,
When I started CFA, you could do level one. In fact, you could just write only once a year. Now they've changed it. You can now write twice a year. So the funny thing is, like I told you, the interest came when I was heading custody,
mm,
security services.
mm,
So I didn't start at the time. I started like
mm,
about 3 years after I about a year after I left custody is when I started. And I did the first exams, the level one, and I
mhm.
passed in the
Wow.
first sitting. Hey God, I became proud. I became so proud. Like, hey, this year everybody's complaining
Oh.
about, hey, what's there? It's an exam that is so intense. You have to be disciplined. It's not about being intelligent, right? But
Mm,
because the curriculum is so wide. You can imagine economics combined with finance, investments,
mm,
risk, compliance, governance, ethics. These are all the things you have to learn just to do this program. So I did the first level and I passed immediately and I thought, hey, I'm too good. I'm too what's there? So the level two, I wasn't people were telling me, level two is I
It's
was like,
hard.
what's there? What's there? I did level one just one sitting and when I did it, the first time I wrote it, I failed.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
I remember I told myself, "Ah, what am I?" And I asked myself, what are you even doing with this
What are you
certification
looking
you're doing?
for?
What am I looking for? What are you looking for? What are you going to do with it? At the time I was writing it, I was already in my late 30s, right?
Right.
Almost 40. And I was like, nobody's going to hire you to be an investment analyst. Nobody's going to hire you to be in front office and nobody's going to hire you because you're not the people prepare younger people,
Mm.
in those kind of. So why are you stressing yourself? I beg, abandon this thing. That's how I felt. I felt like, hey, I beg, let me just abandon this thing and go and do something with my life. Um, but another thing again is that if you decide that you want to marry, if you want to have a
Mhm.
partner, you need to have a
Mhm.
partner um that impacts you positively, a partner that would
Mhm.
push you to grow.
Mhm.
So my husband kept on telling me, you started something and see finish it now. Just finish it. Try again. I know it's tough. Just try again. You would regret it all. He kept on telling me you regret it. You will start
Mhm.
saying, hey, if I had known, I would have finished this thing. Mm. So I decided to do the second time and I failed it again.
Mhm.
Failed again. And you know how CFA is not like ACCA where you have is 50 is your pass mark. You don't know what the pass mark is. They just send you one graph and tell you, oh, this is where your
This is where you
deviation.
are on the graph.
I'm telling you, and that is it, failed. And then I failed again the second time, and I was like, wow, okay. Now what is God telling me? You need to be humble.
Mm.
You need to be humble. You need to ask questions. Okay, look for someone who has gone through this journey and ask the person, hey, how did you do it? So I remember one of my colleagues then in the office, then in operations, I think he was the only one. Okay, there were two of them who had CFA in everyone in the entire department. So I had to ask him, see, I'm having issues with this level two. How do I go about it? And he told me, oh, Chika, it's tough. Oh, I know. I also failed it. And then this was a game changer for me. He
Mhm.
told me a particular material that he got bought and I did. And I went and I bought it.
Mhm.
And I read, did everything. Oh goodness. Tife, I failed it the
Failed
third time.
again. Oh my goodness.
But you see,
Oh.
when I failed it the third time,
Mhm.
when you look at the graph,
Mm-hmm.
Where my score was like as if you passed, but I'm sorry, you just can't, you
But
didn't, it was just not there, maybe 1 mark
yeah,
or 2 marks. So that
yeah.
motivated me.
Oh,
That
that's so
motivated
good.
me. So I was like, okay, no, I'm there, I'm there, I'm there, I'm there. And I did it and I now passed, right?
Right.
Passed it, and that's level two. Went into level three. Oh my goodness, level three, because the concept, the way they ask the questions differ in all the levels. So level one is objective all through,
Mm-hmm.
240 questions, so it's easier to pass.
It is.
Level two only restricted 88 questions and is more case study driven. It's still objectives too, but it's very limited. So if you fail a few, that's it, you're gone. Then level three now is a combination of objectives and essay type questions.
Wow.
Now, you know the way they taught us in Nigeria in our essay questions. When you're writing, if you use that concept to go write CFA essay questions, you will just fail.
Done.
So, so that first time I tried it, of course I failed because I didn't get it. I did the second time again, still, but the second time, at the time I did the second time, just like what happened to me in level two,
Mhm.
the where I was very close. I just knew that okay, there's something I'm missing about how I'm asking this question.
Mm,
Again, a friend again, I went back again to check. Until you
mm,
passed this thing after you wrote it 2 times. What did you do? I said, oh, this guy, oh, there's one Gomet, my very good friend, Indian friend. He
mhm,
will teach you the essay, how to answer the essay questions. Go and
mm.
sign up with him. So there's value in always seeking help, checking who has gone through this journey before,
Mm,
right? Failure does not mean you have failed. As in, when you fail something, it's just a step for you to get better. Ask questions. Go and ask someone who has gone through the journey. So I asked my friend, and she told me, is this guy you? And I signed up with him. And he taught me how to answer questions in CFA. Right? And I'm sure that's how they answer questions. You guys that have gone to Igbo schools, how they answer questions. Because it is about you have to reference the case, you have to
yeah,
reference the data, you
yeah.
have to talk about the data. Don't start define, no definition.
Nobody
When they
wants
ask
to
us,
hear that you
don't
know how to
define,
define.
no.
Mm.
But us, you know how we us in
Yes, we want
Nigeria,
to
you
prove that we've
define.
we've
I want
read
to
this
show
thing
I
you're
know
talking
it.
about.
I will define it. And then when I define, then I will now
Yeah.
start. There, don't
Mm.
define because when you define the first 3 pages, the person has lost
Yeah,
interest.
but like
And then maybe your
you
answer
have
is
not
at
referenced the case.
you have to just reference the case, answer the question with data, with even with percentages, do analysis. That's what they are looking for, my dear. That's what I did, and
You
your
pass.
girl is a CFA charter holder now. So it's I think the value is in what I'm saying is generally is when you go through a path and it's difficult and you
Mm,
fail, please ask questions. A lot of people have walked through that path and they will give you
absolutely.
the formula so that you don't have to, suffer so much and you get it, right? There's nothing you start doing in this world that you are the first. You will not be the last.
Yes.
People have walked through that journey. Just ask questions and, network, build a good network, whether it's professionally, wherever you find yourself.
Mhm.
Don't be alone. No one is a loner, right?
Yeah.
Ask questions, you will find help. That's
Oh,
just
wow.
it. Yeah.
See, and so I'm just thinking about people who have had exam failures or had issues career-wise or who feel stuck. And I hear the blueprint from what you've said. I did a video around bounce back ability. And I think that is such a powerful thing to be able to say, I feel stuck right now. But if I could just seek knowledge, if I could just speak to somebody, and it takes again humbling yourself to say, because sometimes the person you need to speak to is not even, it's probably somebody reporting into you, or it's probably
Mm-hmm,
somebody, it's probably somebody you
mm-hmm,
don't want to talk to. But you've got
mm-hmm,
to just get to a point to say, this is where I need to go. And from your story, I hear how each time it was a challenge for you to go to somebody, speak to somebody, get
mm-hmm,
knowledge, ask
mm-hmm,
questions, and
mm-hmm,
you're definitely going to bounce back and get to that desired result. And I feel like somebody is listening to this and just saying, you don't know my story. I've tried 4 times, I've tried 5 times. There's something, it could just be a little thing, just around. I always talk about application.
mm-hmm,
A lot of these courses that people take, ACCA,
mm-hmm,
ICAN, CFA, is
mm-hmm,
applying. It's not,
mm-hmm,
I know the definition of so and so says so
mm-hmm,
and so
mm-hmm,
and so
mm-hmm,
and so. No, we're saying what
mm-hmm,
exactly have you gotten from that? Because in the real world, it's not the
mm-hmm,
definition that will help you do your job.
mm-hmm.
So they want you to
It's
be able to take that out.
application.
It's that
Yeah.
application. So it's that
Mm-hmm,
application that, and
mm-hmm.
I think that is the blueprint that people need to work with to be able to say,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
something, it's just a little
Yeah.
tiny tweak. It's not, you're not the failure. Because I hear people
Mm-hmm.
say, I might be the issue.
Mm.
And they start to condemn themselves. Maybe it's just not cut off. You could have said,
In
see,
fact,
I
someone
took
someone
after
actually
that.
told me to my face, Tife. Someone told me when I was because I wrote it for 6 years, right? When I said 6 years, and it was beginning to it was beginning to bother me mentally.
Yeah.
Like I was beginning to second guess myself. And someone
Mhm.
even told me to my face, Chika, maybe you're not intelligent enough to have
And
CFA.
maybe CFA is just not your
Someone
thing, Chika.
so
Maybe.
someone actually told me that to my face, and
Oh, wow.
it hit me very deep. It really hurt me. But that's what I get again, having the right people around you,
Mm,
choosing the right people, right partner, right friends is
mm.
powerful. So those people in your inner circle, what kind of people are they? Are they
Right.
uplifting you? Are they pulling you down? Are they
Mm,
telling you that you can do all things through Christ? Are they
absolutely.
telling you that? If they are not, please change your circle. Just
Right.
change them. So
Right.
because that is that inner circle, those inner, my very close friends, my husband, they keep telling me, look, you can do this. Hey, and so what? Okay, that's happened. Eh, but you
Move
can
on
do
from
it.
it.
Move on from it.
Don't
Look
stay
for help.
stuck.
Don't stay stuck. Don't stay.
Mm,
But it's career. We have had a lot of career
stuck.
time that you feel like, hey, I'm not. Well, right now, I'm still trying to find myself, right?
Mm,
I have done so much. My main background is risk management, is
mm,
operations, right? So right now, yes, I'm acting as the head of audits for
mm,
my organization, but
mm,
that's just a stepping stone. I still need something, I still need a role that would help me apply all the certifications I have that
yeah.
I've learned. I'm still looking for something bigger, something way, way bigger than what I'm doing now. And
Mm,
I know that it's going to come
it
because
will.
I believe in it. So another thing again is that you have to believe in yourself, dream big, believe in yourself that you can do it. And one day the opportunity, just be ready for the opportunity. When it comes, you grab it, right? You
Absolutely.
grab it.
Absolutely.
And there's a whole lot we can do. There's a whole lot we can learn. I try to every day try and learn something new, right?
That's such
We're
a
talking
good
about,
challenge. Don't leave the
yeah,
day without learning something.
yeah, something
Mm,
new. There are emerging skills that are coming up now as finance professionals. What
mhm,
are you doing about it? What are you learning? How are you positioning yourself to be relevant, in the
mm,
next 2, 5, 10 years, right? This
absolutely.
world of AI, that's everybody's saying AI. What have you done around it? How are you learning? How are you using generative AI tools? How are you using it to make your work more efficient? So let's not just, sit and fall. And then another thing again, I hear people say, "Oh, I'm busy. Oh,
Mm.
if you really want to be successful, I'm not even there yet. Oh,
Mhm.
I'm still trying to get to where I
Right.
am. I don't think I
Mm,
have scratched the surface, right?
mm,
Well, we just have to pat ourselves at the back and say, "Hey, you've done well, or you can do better."
right.
You can do better. What do I need to do? What skills do I need to learn? How do I need to who are the key people I need to
Right.
socialize with? Who
Wait,
do I
work with.
network with? Who am I speaking to? Who am I, those things, what am I doing to be how am I visible? In fact, this one is what I'm struggling with, and which is why I
Mm.
jumped on this program when you told me. Because
I like that.
visibility is key. When
Mhm.
people should know you for the right things, right? People should
Mm.
know that you have this ability, this that you can impact, you can be very useful, you can be very impactful, you can add value. Do people know you? Are you out there? Are you very active? So there are a lot of things we can do to become better.
That's just so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Mm.
That's just so beautiful. From your story, I hear how you've used failure, you've learned resilience from it, and you've used it
Mhm.
to continue to accelerate yourself. And I hear very clearly, because I feel like when people say, I've arrived,
Mhm.
I've gotten there, I have ACCA, I have ICAN. You can sit down and just say, I'm not learning one more thing in this world. But you're saying to yourself, I've not even scratched the surface. There's still more to do. And that's where people need to get to, where you say, I've achieved this. I'm patting myself on the back. I deserve it. I'm glad I got it. But I'm also still thinking, and it's not a pursuit. I mean, we're not saying do a rat race or don't pause. We're saying it's just that opportunity to learn more. And I feel like we need to get to a point where we don't consider learning a task, or how do I put it? You've got to enjoy it. You've got to that curiosity, you've got to
Yes.
enjoy it. You've got to
Yes.
enjoy, you've got to get to that point. I want to
Yes.
ask, I want to ask two more questions. you're very active in ACCA-WNN, and the ACCA-WNN is ACCA's Women's Network in Nigeria. What's one thing that you've done or one story in that network that still gives you goose pimples? And what should people know about ACCA-WNN?
Like you said, ACCA-WNN is a network of women who are who are ACCA, who have ACCA. I'm quite active when it comes to the well-being team. So well-being, we talk about how we manage ourselves as professionals just to stay ahead, stay
Mhm,
sane mentally and
mhm,
physically.
mhm,
I think for me, what gives me goosebumps about that ACCA network is
mhm.
the way we look out for each other. Like I've seen people get jobs on that platform.
Yes.
I've seen people grow on that platform. I've seen people write books. I've seen people, become visible on that platform. So it's just a platform where people come together, women, come together
Mhm.
and share ideas, get jobs, career, mentorship. It's just like a complete set of women supporting each other. And
Mhm.
nothing that it's so emotional for me. And I think it's something that we should be doing more. Other professional bodies need to really, really do it. I'm also with the CFA, network now, just joined
Okay.
them. But the truth is, the impact I've gotten, what I've learned so much from the ACCA WNN network has been incredible.
That is.
And then the story around, I remember the story around if the community development programs that the ACC women are
Mm.
doing, the sponsorship programs. I think that's amazing. That's
Okay.
amazing. The best thing you can ever do for anyone who is less privileged is providing them education. That's
Absolutely.
like that's a sure way out of poverty for
Mhm.
that person and that person's generation.
That's really, I mean, I think having that community is underrated in so many places and in so many things. I've got a
Mm.
final question, and it is just looking ahead from your experience, where do you see the biggest opportunities for young finance professionals? I'm thinking 5 years from now, 10 years from
Mm.
now, and
Mm.
how should they position themselves now for those
Mm.
opportunities?
Okay, so we know how the world is going digital now, right? And it's going to keep getting better. Um, so for me, I think every young financial professional, finance professional today
Mhm.
should be looking at data analytics, digital literacy, you
Mhm.
know, as per technical skills, apart from the accounting and having, of course, you need to have your certifications done, ACCA or
Mhm.
CFA, whatever, but you really need to understand that AI, data analytics is the future skills
Oh, wow.
that you need, right? So you just have to, upskill yourselves in this area, right? Another thing again that comes to mind is sustainability, right?
Mm.
You see our weather now. In fact, if you're not in Nigeria, it's raining. This is August. We usually have August break, but it rains almost
Uh,
every day. So there's something going on with the environment.
mm.
So sustainability is also another area of finance. Yes, we've not landed it in this part of the world, but you can imagine if you understand what are the regulatory requirements, what are the reporting requirements when it comes to sustainability,
Mhm.
sustainable finance and the rest, whether it's sustainable finance as an investment product or,
Mhm.
so just learn. You can imagine if we land there finally and you're a subject matter expert, you're going to get
Absolutely.
the jobs out there. The
Mhm.
same thing with data analytics, right? If you know how, or even programming, if you know how to do Python and all those things, it will really help you get in the future job. So I think they really need to go into it. Risk management is another area, right?
Mm.
Regulatory compliance, ethics. Then aside all these technical skills, we also need to be looking at human skills because you really need those human skills to succeed and to be outstanding as a professional.
Mhm.
Human skills around critical thinking, right? you would really need to, because yes, we have all this, automation, Gen AI,
Yeah.
those things don't have emotions, right? So
Mm,
emotional intelligence is another thing we need to also understand and also learn how to, because you would need them to communicate, right? To engage, to influence. So
absolutely.
these are the kind of soft skills and technical skills that we need to begin to develop now. So you're future ready and future proof for what will be coming.
That's so amazing. Position yourself. Tech people that go, oh, I don't really want AI. I'm not AI, so it
Ah,
doesn't take my job. I think, yeah, decades away from just,
decades away,
yes,
decades away.
decades
A
away.
lot of for us, for me, we are privileged because I work for an international organization and we
Mm,
are already seeing how AI can be used for a lot of things, right?
mm,
Report writing, a lot of things. And so the earlier you begin to imbibe and to understand how to use this Gen AI tools, the better for you. Because if not, you'll just be left behind.
amazing. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
so even for me, I've challenged myself this week. I want to do a particular certification around AI governance, right? Just to understand.
Mm,
Yeah, so I'm looking to doing something this week. I'm on leave, but I want to use this week to also achieve that, learn something.
that's
So it's we just have to keep reinventing ourselves. And then young people, you have 20 years, 10, 20 years more to work. You
yeah.
just have to get the skills, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Then where you work, put up your hands for projects. Put up your hands
That's
for,
so
yeah,
important.
yeah, put up your hands to learn more. Don't be in your comfort zone, right? Don't always be in your comfort zone.
And
Do
don't be
things.
afraid to fail because I think a
Yes,
lot of people will
thank
say, I don't
you.
really
Thank
know that
you.
much on this. I don't want
Exactly.
to be a part
Do
of
it,
it. Mm,
fail, learn from it. Failure is so powerful. Failure can be a gift, though. It depends on how you see it and
I
how
think
you come out of it. Yeah, it can. It can be a gift. So you fail, you reflect on what went wrong, and you ensure it doesn't reoccur again. You learn new things and you become better. So it makes you continue to reinvent yourself and become better. But when you fail and you just stay there and you get stuck and you think the whole world has, and what people will say and how you feel, yeah, you will feel, of course, there's no one, you have emotions, you feel bad, but it's good to just bounce back, like if I use your
Mm.
word, bounce back
Yeah,
from it,
yeah.
move on quickly, learn from it,
Mm.
reinvent yourself and become better,
That's
right?
just so good. Sorry, I said that was the last question, but I can't close without these two questions that come to mind. How do
Yeah.
you relax? I I why do I sense like you're busy? How do you
Mhm.
relax? I know you've said you're on leave now. How do you
Mm.
wind down? How do you shut down? How do you refresh yourself? I know you dance. Can you give us
Ah,
some
no,
good
so for
music
me,
that
I
you
think
listen
no.
to?
So I love music, right? I love music a lot. Then for me, what energizes me is
Mhm,
early morning. I have to get my 1 hour
mhm,
exercise, whether it's
mhm,
working,
mhm,
whether it's going to the gym. I love lifting weights. People will be so
mhm.
surprised, but I do love lifting weights. Because it's once for women, it's important to lift weights so that you're not flabby, right?
Yeah,
um
yes.
and your muscle, so you build muscle, because our muscle, we start losing muscle as we get older very
Mhm.
quickly.
True.
But carrying weight helps you build those muscle, whether you're big or whether you're small or anything. It's good to at
Highway.
least do like two days a week, weightlifting. So I get my exercises done almost every day, at least 4 or 5 times a week.
That's
That helps me, that fills me, and that's my me time. So then reflections
mm,
too. I do a lot of reflections, especially in the morning, just think through, just reflect on what happened yesterday, how I feel, how am I doing. Um, Believe it or not, mental wellness is real, is real.
mm,
Like I have an app, good enough. My office, it's an app that we use in the office, that our officers, that is called On Mind. So I go in there, I get daily
mhm.
boosts, different things that just uplifts you, right? Because we all need it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just talk to yourself
True.
and tell yourself, look, you've got this.
Mhm,
You're God's child, right?
mhm.
Someone brought you to this world, and the
It's a
most important thing is,
reason.
why am I here? Why am I
Mhm,
here? I
mhm,
want to live a life of purpose. I want to live a
mhm,
life um, of love,
mhm.
right? I just want to live a life where I can make an impact, so that when I leave, I'm leaving a legacy behind, right? So,
Absolutely.
and legacy doesn't have to be wealth. Legacy can be
It
that
can be
you
bigger
are
than wealth.
it can be bigger than wealth. It can be that, hey, that woman was such impact. She loved people. She looked after
Mhm.
people. She advised people. She
Mhm.
genuinely gives people good feedback. She
Mhm.
supported people's career, their businesses. It could just be advice,
Yeah,
genuine
true,
advice.
true.
It can be anything bigger than just wealth, or giving people money.
That's so
Not
good.
that wealth is so good, though.
You
I want to
shouldn't
have
drop
a
it
lot of
too
it,
hard.
but
Hmm.
I think being a genuine good person, you see something that would benefit Tife, and I send it out to Tife. Tife, have you heard about this? I think it's something that may be good or something you're interested in. I don't see something that I can benefit from, but I hold it on because I can benefit, and so no one should benefit from it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Mm,
so you just have to look out for others.
that's so
Look out for yourself and
beautiful.
also look out for others.
Look out for others and be in touch with yourself. That's what I hear as well as you talk about, tuning into yourself. One way
Mm,
to unwind is just tuning. How are you feeling? What's going on? And talking to yourself. I think, you know how I think it's a Nigerian thing when you say, she's talking to herself,
mm,
and you think she's not okay. The real sense
mm,
of it is when you're not talking to
mm.
yourself, that's when we should ask, are you
Yeah, no, you're not okay.
okay?
Yeah. Look
Are
at
you
something,
okay?
look at the mirror and tell yourself, yeah, tell yourself you got
Fine.
this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Like
you've
just
got
and
this.
pat yourself on the back as well. Give
Yes.
yourself grace. I think it's really
Mm-hmm.
beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
This has been
Mm-hmm.
such a good session. I don't want it to end, but thank you
Thank
for
you,
giving of
dear.
yourself, Chika.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for this
so
platform.
very
You're doing
much.
such a great job.
Thank
You wouldn't
you.
know who this would help, who this would impact, but well done, well
Thank
done,
you.
well
Thank you.
done.
Thank you for the time. I know you're on leave. I know how precious that is for you, but still taking our time to be here. We appreciate it. Thank you so
Thank
much
you,
for
dear.
that.